welcome to Nugg Talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nugg Talk, a weekly podcast where we talk about everything going on in the NBA and more specifically, everything going on with your Denver Nuggets. I am once again your host, Loki, and with me once again is my co-host, Philip, Philly P, Philly D. I don't know what I call you. You gotta get a nickname at some point, Phil.
I have no ideas. I was trying to think of something right there, but I failed. So
You're terrible at improv. Get better at improv.
Philly P.
I just said that.
Then let's just go with Philly P.
Fine, you're Philly P from now on. You're Philly P. Alrighty. Well, we'll go into that. So nothing really going on for the most part. FIBA is going on, and we will get into that. A lot of upsets for the most part going on in FIBA, which is crazy to see, but also, I mean, once we get into the games, we can kind of realize why some of them might have happened. But we're going to start off with some NBA news that Kevin Durant talked about. Kevin Durant finally, he opened up. He talked to, I think, Sports Illustrated. He talked about his situation with the Dubs. He talked about why he left. He talked about some things of OKC. And he said some things about Kyrie Irving that I don't believe, but he said them. So we'll get into that a little bit. Are you ready for that, Phil?
Yeah.
You ready to hear it? All right. So the first thing is his situation with the Warriors, why he left. He said one of the reasons he left was because he never felt like he was actually a part of the guys. And as the guys, he means Steph Curry, Iguodala, Clay, and Draymond. He says it always felt like it was the Warriors and KD, or the KD and the Warriors. It never felt like they were an actual team. And for the most part, he just didn't feel like respected, and he didn't think that he was getting a fair share of what he brought to the Warriors for the most part. That's just in jest of what he said. There's a lot of stuff he said. He talks a lot. But what do you think about that? What do you think about his feelings, Phil, about the situation and why he left?
I mean, he kind of has a point. I mean, I don't know if you would consider it a good or a bad thing, but he definitely wasn't really ever considered by the fans, and maybe it sounds like now even the Warriors, a part of that team, he was just kind of almost like a late addition to a dynasty. And granted, he was arguably the most important part of that dynasty, but yeah, I mean, you never really think of, when you think of KD, you don't think of a Warrior. You kind of think of like a kind of a Thunder, but also now just kind of like a dickhead.
I mean, I get where he's coming from, because most people always were like, well, the Warriors, they would win without KD. That was always the thing that was said. It was kind of proved wrong in this year's finals, but then again, everyone else was also hurt on that Warriors team. So was it proved wrong? Who knows? We'll see, I guess, this year.
True.
But KD, it's probably not great to hear every day and every year that you're there at your new place, that you are trying to win a championship, and when you do win 2 championships, that they don't mean anything. And I think that probably got under his skin more than anything else. Actually, I know that got under his skin more than anything else, because for some reason he argues with people on Twitter all the time. I don't know why.
Yep.
Even if it's not through his regular account, it's through one of his fake accounts, and he probably has a lot of them. So
Doesn't seem like he stopped on that whole thing.
He likes to be confrontational with these type of people. I mean, it's the same thing with the Devin Booker double team situation. He defended it. It's like he just likes to get in these conversations and argue, I guess. But I do think it was getting under his skin. I think the fact that everyone always knew that it was, no matter even if he was on the team, it was still Steph Curry's team. It never really transferred over. At least when LeBron went to Miami, Dwayne Wade gave the team to LeBron. He said, "This is your team." Steph Curry he probably did that. He probably was like, "Kevin, this is your team," but no one ever believed it. I don't think anyone in the locker room did. I don't think Draymond did. I don't think Coach Kerr did.
No, I think Steph's a better leader than KD is, so I think just it naturalistically never became his team, because he didn't ever really take it, because he doesn't have the leadership like that.
Yeah, and also it's just he talked about it too. He was the only one of those guys, I mean, excluding Iguodala, but for the main 3 guys, that he wasn't drafted there. All the other guys were drafted there, basically grew together. It's basically like if we had Gary, Jamal, and Jokic, and then we signed Kawhi Leonard. If we did that this year, it would have been the same. Like, you would still be like, those guys were the main guys, and this is just a new guy. Like, because those guys, they were at the, they were part of the worst, when the team sucked, and they weren't doing that good until they beat us, and then they started becoming amazing. So, but yeah, I mean, he went into that. I just think it's interesting that he finally opened up about it and basically admitted to what everyone thought, which was the fact that he and the Warriors, they weren't ever really like a cohesive team for the most part. So, but it's interesting to see his thoughts on it and see why he left. And I mean, I understand why he left. It just makes sense that he left. Because, like, why else would he not leave, He doesn't feel like he's respected. And fucking Draymond called him a bitch. Things happen here and there, but I don't know. I think it makes sense for why he left. I feel like you agree for why he left.
I do. I kind of think that people don't really like KD. I think he's kind of a confrontational person, and it just kind of strikes me as a guy that people kind of just struggle to be around sometimes. I think the same may or may not go with his new teammate. We'll see.
Speaking of his new teammate, he did say another reason he left is because Kyrie is his best friend in the league. What do you think about that?
I mean, I always knew that they were friends, but like,
I think this is bullshit.
I've never really. It's not like something people knew about. Like, everybody knew LeBron and Dwayne Wade were best friends.
I think this is total bullshit.
I think he's just blowing smoke at this point. Bullshit.
I think at a time Russell Westbrook was also his best friend. I think at a time Steph Curry was also his best friend. This is fucking bullshit. I do not believe this.
I'm starting to think KD just doesn't have a lot of friends in the league because no one likes him.
I mean, I feel like people like him, but I just think that I just don't believe that Kyrie Irving is your best friend in the league. I feel like he's better friends with LeBron James, or he's better friends with like literally a multitude of other people. Probably James Harden. Like, him and James Harden never had beef. I think he has more closer friends than Kyrie Irving in the league. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's being 100% honest about it. But I just don't think that Kyrie Irving is his best friend, mainly because I also think Kyrie Irving is just not that nice of a person.
Yeah, I think it's true. I think, I don't think either of them are very nice people. You kind of get that vibe from all the drama that surrounds them. For a while, you kind of thought that KD and the Russ situation was just kind of like, oh, well, Russ is known to be kind of a dick, but they might have both been dicks.
They could have both been dicks. And that is also something he went to talk about. And this was more of the interesting part about it, is when he started talking about Oklahoma City, he actually said that there was a point where he was considering to pull basically like a LeBron, go back home to the team that drafted him and try to, he didn't say win a championship, but he did say he'd at one point envisioned going back there. But then, after all the times he visited back to OKC and how much the fans basically belittled him and called him a cupcake or a bitch, or I forgot what the other thing was. I know it was like soft, cupcake, bitch. There was something else. Snake. There we go. Snake. Yeah, the obvious one. After they just kept belittling him, he said no one in the organization would talk to him when he go there, from the ball boys all the way up to like the GM. Everyone basically just shunned him. He said that it felt very fake. It felt hostile. He didn't like the situation he was in, and he now will never consider going back there, and he doesn't think that anyone else should go there ever, which is just like, okay, man, you got to stop being a little bit petty, but like, I get where you're coming from, yeah. I guess.
They're kind of meeting each other's pettiness, which is not really surprising, but,
I did think it was interesting. He did say he was considering to go back there, which is funny because I feel like if you're an Oklahoma City fan now, you're like, God damn it, we fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that everyone's just like, well, shit, because that could have saved their team.
Could have saved their team if he did end up going back there at some point. And if they knew that, like, because everyone knew, like, I always knew at some point LeBron was going to go back to Cleveland. I didn't think he'd go back as early as he did, but I feel like everyone saw that coming once that last year was happening. And if OKC was kind of nicer to him, maybe that could have happened this year for them. But I guess not, because, they were very mean to him. And Kevin Durant is a very sensitive person, as is known in the NBA. But also, what was interesting about this was the fact not only that he said he would consider going back there to play there, but just the fact that he said he doesn't want anyone else really to go there anymore because it seems kind of fake and the situation seems fake and it was too hostile for him. Because like if they don't support him leaving a team, it's just like he's like, you're really gonna say this stuff to me after I left the team? It's like, what are you talking about, man? LeBron was almost killed when he went back to Cleveland the first time. They had extra security.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not the only one to go through this.
Like, yeah, LeBron's comeback to Cleveland was worse than his to the Thunder. That one, like, people actually thought LeBron could like get shot or something like that could have happened. Like, there was extra security. That thing felt like a finals game. If anyone hasn't watched that, go back and watch LeBron versus Cleveland for the first time on YouTube and to see the interaction, the hostility in that arena, and then Kevin Durant can start talking. But like, I don't know. I just think he's being a little bit sensitive about this.
Oh, absolutely. It's just at this point, it's also just like a why do we care thing. You're not on the Warriors or the Thunder. Sure, you said it all, but now just like shut up.
I mean, I think it's nice that he got his piece out because I like when players at least speak out and stuff like this, and you can get kind of like a behind the back scenes. But I do think it's weird that he just like got so in depth with it. I just think it's kind of weird that he also kind of like took shots, like low key shots at people, like at the Warriors and then just the OKC franchise in general. Like that's not going to help OKC if one of the best players who ever went there basically said don't go there because they suck. Like,
yeah, it's just kind of a thing that's just now it's like KD is just kind of making himself seem even more unlikable. He spoke his side of the story and somehow kind of made himself into a villain type again. Granted, people are probably happy with what he said about the Warriors because everyone hates them. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess he's got a lot of time on his hands at the moment because he's not going to play this year. So yeah, I don't know.
He's not going to play this year. But he's just doing what he's got to do. I mean, he was on the Wall Street Journal. He's just doing things now for business reasons because he can't play basketball. But you know what, Kevin Durant, we're glad you spoke your mind. It was good to get some insight about what was going on with you and the Warriors last season, and also you and OKC. But yeah, I just think that's interesting, and it was one of the only real things that came out this week for news. In other news, it looks like the Clippers, just found this out, are investing in going to Englewood and not staying in Los Angeles, which was expected for a while. They should still change the name. I 100% think they should not be the Clippers anymore. What the fuck does the Clippers even mean?
Yep, I don't know.
It's about hair clippers. Why the fuck do you want to be named after hair clippers or nail clippers?
I think it's a boat.
Is it a boat?
Let me Google this.
Better not be about a fucking boat. That makes no sense.
A fast-sailing ship, especially one in the 19th century, designed with concave bows and raked masts.
That's stupid. They should change their name immediately. I don't know to what, but they should totally change it. Clippers is a dumb name.
Boat or a haircut, it's bad, so...
Anyways, change their name. They're going to move out of Staples Center. Ballmer invested $100 million in Englewood. I wish I could invest $100 million in myself, but I don't have that type of money. And Steve Ballmer's a weird dude, but he was with Microsoft and Bill Gates, so he made bank. So yeah, it looks like they're finally moving on and trying to get out of the shadow of the Lakers. So, I mean, that's good, I guess, for them. And it should be easier now because they technically have a better team for the moment on paper. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, there was that. And then in other news before we get to FIBA, you said you had an update on the altitude nugget situation. Was it sounding like you're hearing rumors?
Reports are that Altitude Sports are currently talking to Amazon to set up a streaming platform to stream Nugget games and Avalanche games and Mammoth, Outlaws, whoever is on Altitude, stream their games on Amazon TV. So if you have Amazon Prime and you're thinking about getting rid of it, I would wait and see how this goes. And then obviously just keep an eye on it. I think they're talking, and I think it's our best chance to watch a Nuggets game, at least at the moment. So yeah,
Yeah, so there you go. Phil gave us some news that I didn't even know about. And we also found out if you have Amazon Prime, you get Amazon TV somehow. That was something we learned today because we did not know that was a thing. We could have been watching Amazon TV shows this whole time. We could have watched The Boys. We could have watched The Tick. I think The Tick's one.
I don't even know what else is on there.
I don't know what else is on there, but there must be some stuff on there. But the Nuggets are going to be on there, so hopefully that'd be cool. But yeah, hopefully they go on Amazon. I think that'd actually be better. I feel more people would be okay with doing that than paying for cable. Like we talked about last week. If you just ask me to pay, I don't know how much Amazon Prime's worth to be a part of it. How much is Amazon Prime worth to be a part of it?
I have no idea.
I'm going to look it up. But if it's like, it's definitely less than whatever cable costs. It has to be. Like, I can't think it's more than what cable costs. Let me look it up real quick. Amazon Prime is $12.99 a month. That's totally fine.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
That's not that bad. If you have to pay $13 to watch 13 bucks a month to watch 82 games for basically most of the year, and then including playoffs, which we should make, I think that's pretty much worth it. Also, if you're an Amazon student, I think it's cheaper. So if you're in college or technically high school, I don't know if they go that far back, you can get it for cheaper. So there you go. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be awesome to see. As long as we can keep the same announcers and crew that we have at Altitude, that'd be great. But kind of upgrade our graphics because I don't like the graphics on Altitude.
I should also say that this is like a very early thing, so we probably won't hear much about it.
It's a hot scoop
for a while.
That's what we got. We're bringing in hot scoops.
But yeah, hopefully it turns into something because it would be nice. Apparently the Yankees stream their games on Amazon, so it's not like a brand new thing.
I mean, yeah, streaming services are the rage now, man. And like I said, that is definitely more worth it than paying. I think when we used to have cable, it was like
expensive,
$120. I mean, we had Wi-Fi on top of it, but that was like a lot of fucking money for only using like 4 channels.
Yeah,
like
true.
So I mean, most people I feel like already have Amazon Prime too, so it's not even a burden for them at this point. They just be like, oh, this is the added benefit to me ordering stuff that I like to order real quick. So hopefully it happens. That'd be pretty cool, and I think it would help out a lot. And we just need to see our Nuggies. That's all that matters to us. But now, after our hot scoop, we'll get a little bit into the FIBA tournament. Are you ready to talk about the tourney, Phil?
Yeah.
It was sad. It was depressing. There was a lot of upsets.
There's a lot of upsets.
We'll get into the bigger one, but we'll get into the one that's more important to our hearts and all Serbians' hearts. Our boy lost. He lost.
So surprised, to be honest.
It was a really big upset.
I called my shot saying that they were guaranteed to get a medal, and they're not going to get a medal.
They're not going to get a medal. The best they can do is get 5th. But yeah, right now they lost to Argentina 97-87. They allowed Luis Scola, old-ass Luis Scola without his long-ass hair now. She actually looks better without the long hair. I don't know why he ever did that. But he got 30 points on them.
Jeez.
It was not good.
What position does he play?
He plays power forward when he was in the NBA, but I don't know if he's playing center for them. He probably could have played center for them. He's a pretty big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good. They scored 30. Jokic had a decent game. I think he had like 16 and 10 and 5 or something like that. Let me see. I might have it here. He had 16, 10 and 5. Yeah. 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Bogdanovic had 21 points. Belizia had 18 points and 7 rebounds. Like, they had good performances, but they just lost it. Jokic didn't even play that many minutes, so that might have been a possibility of it. And he sat out like the last 3 minutes of the game, which probably didn't help either. I think they're just trying to save he's got to focus about his real career and stuff like this. But I would have liked to see them move on, but sadly they did not. They're still in the tournament. I don't think that he will play any longer. I don't know if he would actually continue to play if they're not going to medal. I would, at this point, hope not.
I kind of hope it's just time now for him to shift his focus.
I just really hope not, because I think it would just make no sense for him to play at this moment. But it just seems that they were missing all their buckets, like except for the top 3 guys that I just mentioned. And at this point, you're only playing for 5th place, and 5th place doesn't really matter. They already clinched a spot in the Olympics, so I don't think they need to worry about that because they made the quarterfinals. You clinch a spot, so I mean, they did everything they needed to do. We'll see them in the Olympics. I don't know if Jokic would play in the Olympics. Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe not. Probably not. Who knows? Depends on how far we go in the playoffs maybe at that time. But that's like 2 years away, so.
That's true, yeah.
What?
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure Tokyo is
it next year?
This, like, summer 2020.
Oh, never mind. All right, so it's this summer. Well, still depends on how far we go in the playoffs. Yeah, it is. I think you're right. It's Tokyo 2020, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, they're in it. So they're there. They could also do the 3v3 thing because they have Jokic, Bogdanovic, and Belizia, or Boban, or Milos.
They got options.
They have options to do that 3v3 tournament, which will be cool to see. But yeah, it was disappointing. I was very sad to hear they lost. They also lost to Spain earlier, but that game didn't really matter. But Jokic did get ejected for yelling at a ref for bad jump ball call. It wasn't even that bad of a call. I think it was a jump ball. He just got really upset.
He did get fouled, but it was ticky-tacky.
It was just classic Jokic. He just yelled at the ref and got thrown out. It's classic Jokic, man.
Yeah, get used to that. But
he's going to yell at refs. I guess European refs just have way less of a temper than the United States refs because he says way more shit than he did against that guy. And that guy ejected him real quick. But yeah, they lost to him. Marcus Hall did pretty good against Jokic in that. I don't think that has anything to do with future NBA performances, but it did happen.
European basketball is just a little different.
It's a little bit different. It's a different type of style. It's different rules. It's different. But at least that wasn't the biggest upset of the fucking week, which is surprising, but also thank God, because now Serbia doesn't look like the team that fucked up. Because the United States lost to fucking France. They lost to France 89-79. They're the first team to lose since like 2006 or 2004. It's kind of fucking like an actual real game in the Olympic.
The last time USA lost was in 2006 to Greece.
Yeah, they lost 2006 to Greece. I think the roster they had was Kirk Heinrich, Joe Johnson, LeBron, Carmelo, and like Elton Brand. That was their starting lineup, which is not a good starting lineup.
And they lost to a team that consists of Frank Ntilikina, Nicolas Batum, Evan Fournier, and Rudy Gobert, and then the rest are not in the NBA.
Yep.
Remember Axel
Toupane.
Yeah,
he's
also
on there.
His team, if you guys remember him.
Axel Toupane, an old Nuggie. He's on that team. Evan fucked him up. Yeah, Evan had like 20 points.
Evan was good.
Evan really fucked him up. The leading scorer for USA was Donovan Mitchell, and he was actually doing, even as a Nuggets fan, I can say this, he was doing good for 3 quarters. Then he just got shut down in the 4th quarter. Some people are blaming Popovich for not using him enough. Some people are blaming him for not, trying to get involved as much. Either way, Donovan Mitchell shouldn't be your only option when you have fucking like 10 other NBA players. Use the other NBA players. You got Kemba Walker, you got Jaylen Brown, you got all like half the Celtics and all these other NBA players.
You'd think they would be like way more selfish or selfless with the ball, and I don't think they really are.
It was just kind of bad. They just played poorly. Coach Pop didn't seem to care really much after it. Like the guy was like, one of the reporters was kind of like roasting him. He's like, just right, don't coach. He got kind of upset, but also like in a funny Coach Pop way. But he didn't seem to care that much. I just think no one really cared that much because we saw so many people drop out. But it made me think at some point today, maybe certain people started dropping out towards like the end. Because you remember how they used to add people like Montrezl Harrell and all these other guys. Like,
they started dropping out. I
think those guys dropped out more of because they didn't want to be a part of the team that they knew was going to lose.
Yeah, like I think you could kind of tell from the beginning that this team wasn't going to probably do as well as they usually do.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the most embarrassing Team USAs of all time. It's not a good Team USA. It's a very poor Team USA. But like I said last time on the podcast before, I think now that they lost, it's going to make our Olympic team fucking amazing because they're going to be like, okay, well, now we're actually going to send our A-plus talent. Like, you're going to see a lot of A-plus talent guys going back and doing it now.
I'm sure we'll get, like, Anthony Davis in there.
Probably get Kawhi. You'll probably get Kevin Durant. You probably won't get LeBron.
Won't get LeBron.
He's just kind of too old for it.
You'll get Kyrie.
You'll get a Kyrie. You'll get
Steph.
a James Harden. You'll get a Steph. You'll get a DeMar DeRozan.
Probably Clay.
You'll probably get Kyle Lowry. You'll get some of these bigger name guys. You won't get these young and upcoming stars and Mason Plumlee.
We should have known there. When Plumlee made the team, we should have known.
Plumlee is Captain America, all right?
Yeah, okay.
He's the closest thing to Chris Evans in the NBA. He's Captain America. But, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. They lost. But now that they lost, they'll be playing Serbia on... I think it's Thursday, so at least we still get to see him play. I still hope Serbia wins that.
I mean, I don't think Jokic is going to play.
I don't think he's going to play either, but I still hope Serbia wins because it'd just be funny. I think it'd be funny. But, yeah, maybe they'll start resting people too. I don't know who they would rest. Maybe some of the older guys, maybe Mason. I don't know. But it's just like they're all still kind of young. I mean, they could play. You can't rest everyone. They're all NBA players, so some of them have to play. But yeah, that was definitely one of the most embarrassing losses they've had in a very, very long time. One of the worst teams they've put out in a very, very long time. And with that, we only have one boy left in the tournament, which was the one that we did not expect to be left in the tournament at this point. And that is Juancho. Juancho is still in this bitch. He's in the tourney still. They beat Poland 90-78, and they've moved on to the next round. So that's our only hope to get a medal now.
Go Spain.
Well, now we're on Spain's side, I guess. So let's go Spain. Well, you got it. You got Marc Gasol. You got Rudy Fernandez. You got you got Juancho. You got some old.
Juancho's been one of their best players.
He has been one of their best players, which is interesting to see. And also in the game when he played Serbia, he had a 3 over Jokic, and he started talking shit to Jokic, which I thought was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. I think it's just good that they have friendly banter with each other. But yeah, Juancho has been showing some improvement. He still looks too skinny to play in the NBA, but I think the European game is perfect for Juancho. It's fit for him. I think having a short 3-point line also helps. But he's been balling out. He's been doing pretty good. He's been having good stats. Marc Gasol has been playing really well for them. It's a pretty good team. They dominated most of the teams they played except for Iran. They had struggled against Iran, but other than that, they usually won by 10 or at least like 8 and above. So they're doing pretty good. They move on to the next round, so I guess we're just rooting for Juancho right now because Mason and Jokic, they both went out, and those are the ones we fought to go the farthest.
Yes.
And they're going to play the winner of Australia and Czech Republic, which was actually Australia, which, to be honest, is one of the most fun teams to watch when I watch their highlights because they have a lot of personality, because they have Aaron Baines, Dellavedova, Patty Mills, Joe Ingles, and Bogut, and they're all just like really hyper Australian guys, and they're funny. But that team's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, they beat Czech Republic 82-70. They got some good NBA talent. I don't know who's going to win this thing now. It doesn't really matter, but I just don't know.
Probably Spain or Australia.
Probably Spain or Australia, but France is pretty good. I definitely don't think it's Argentina. I think it's got to be France, Spain, or Australia. I could see it be France just because they have the best defensive player in this tournament.
That's true.
Because they have Rudy Gobert, but it also could be Spain. It also could be Australia because Australia is pretty good. I don't know who's
the fourth team.
Argentina, because they beat Serbia. But I don't think it'd be Argentina. Because they just have a really old-ass Luis Scola. And that was like one of the bigger upsets of this tournament. That shouldn't have happened. That was one of the worst teams for Serbia to lose to. But it was just bad shooting night for them. So, yeah. Argentina's going to play France. Just make a prediction, Phil. Who do you think wins that one?
Argentina, France? France.
All right. So, France is going to the finals. And who are they going to play? Spain or Australia?
Fuck, Spain.
All right, and then who's winning first?
Probably France. I'll say France.
So you're going to go with France. I'm going to say it's France versus Australia, and I'm going to go with Australia because I'm really liking this Australian team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if any of these teams won. I prefer if France didn't just because I don't like Rudy Gobert. But
I mean, we can like Rudy Gobert now. He's just part of a French team. He's not a Utah Jazz technically right now.
Yeah, I don't care who wins. It's fine.
It doesn't matter.
I
Whoever
prefer
wins,
Spain,
wins.
I guess, because
I mean, yeah, we all want Spain to win. I really also like the Australia team. But I mean, if we're going with our boys, we want Juancho to win. We want someone to get gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all of these teams have made it into the next round. They're all going. I mean, they made it into the Olympics for 2020. So it's going to be like the same type of competition. But at that point, USA is just going to dominate. Yeah. And who knows if Jokic even plays. Juancho will definitely play, but who knows if Juancho will even be on our team at that point.
Yeah, this year we will know.
This is the year to find out. We might even trade him at trade deadline if he's not doing that great. That's a possibility. But yeah, this tournament went kind of quick. But I mean, that means the deadline's coming up. I mean, not the deadline. Training camp's coming up soon.
Yeah, we're getting close. It's
get in there. Football's happening, which means again we're also closer to basketball, which is nice to see. But you know, if you're a Denver fan, sorry, the Broncos suck. They're just not good.
One more month, guys, and we don't have to worry about the Broncos anymore. One more month.
Phil was just crying.
I was unhappy. I knew we were going to be good, but I thought we would be better. I think a lot of Bronco fans had the exact same sentiment that I just said.
I just think it's funny that football season's basically over here. But you know what? This is a basketball town now. This is a basketball city.
We should remind all the sports fans of that.
/ hockey city.
Yeah, we're a basketball / hockey town.
We're
without
a Pepsi
any way
Center
to televise
city.
our team.
We're a Pepsi Center city. That is what we are. If you play in the Pepsi Center, you're a good team. If you don't, it's rough. But you know, it's coming back. I don't know when training camp is. I think it's near the end of this month, and then more into October. So it's coming soon, which is great. And then preseason comes, and we can finally see MPJ. Which I'm so excited to see. I just need to see goddamn MPJ.
Yeah. Hopefully he plays a significant minutes.
I mean, I would hope so, but we'll see where he goes. But yeah, so that's coming up. But now, since the season's coming up, we're going to start doing a thing week to week where we just go into one starter and one bench player and one thing they need to improve on every week. That's what we're going to be doing until basically preseason and then going into the season. So we're going to be doing that from week to week. Hopefully we can finish out most guys on the roster. If we don't, we'll do the rest of them all in the last episode of what we're doing. But this episode, we're going to focus on a couple of big men. For the starter, we're going to focus on Paul Millsap. And for the bench player, we're going to focus on Captain America himself, Mason Plumlee. Which one do you want to start with, Phil? Mason or
Let's start
Paul?
with Mason, and then we'll finish it off with the more interesting topic.
All right, we can go. Okay, so we'll go into Mason Plumlee. I'll go over some of his stats from last year. Again,
I already know what I want him to do, so.
I mean, you can go into it if you want to.
All right, I think it's pretty obvious that Mason Plumlee will never, ever be able to get a shot, any sort of jump shot, unless he makes a miracle three. So I'm not going to ask him to do that, but I do ask that he shoots 60% from the free throw line. 60%. I don't know what he shot last year, but I can't imagine it was 60%.
He shot 56.
All right, then I'm upping it. I want him to shoot 65 to 70%.
Okay, he's never done that, but I mean, he could try.
I want him to just. I don't want to think he's going to miss both free throws every time he goes to the line.
That's true.
I want him to be like, oh, like he'll make two a lot of the time, and he'll make one most of the time. I don't want it to be like he's going to miss both.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's definitely fair, and I do think that's always been something he's working on, and that's why we hired Mark Price to fix this goddamn free throw, which he did. Mark Price raised it from 45 to 56% from the year before to this past year that just happened. So he did fix it by 11%, but you need to continue to fix it because if you can't make free throws, you're a liability to play the game. Even though no one really abused it, no one really did hack a Plumlee whenever we played him.
Popped it a little bit,
but for the most part, no one really did hack a Plumlee, which kind of surprised me because I always thought that'd be something they would do. No one ever did it.
Yeah,
surprising. But I do agree with you. I think you should focus on that. I don't know if this guy actually works at helping you shoot, but there's that guy on Instagram called Lethal Shooter. He's teaching people how to shoot free throws, and apparently he's making them better. So maybe we should go tell Mason to go see him. I don't know if that guy actually helps or not, but there's no way for me to know based on stats. I think the guy even posts stats of people shooting better that he's worked with to be like, look, it works. But like, who knows? If it does work, Mason, go over there. Do anything to fix your free throw. I do think that is something that would help Phil for sure.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think we need Mason to become. He's not bad at defense, but he's not a rim protector. When we don't have a rim protector, we never had a rim protector for a long time since we got rid of JaVale. Which is sad to say that JaVale was our last rim protector, but he was. And we need a guy who can, protect the rim because Jokic can't. It's unfortunate, but he just can't. He's just too big and too slow at the moment for right now. And, we need him to exert more of his energy on the offensive end. So I think if Mason can get anywhere near like 1.5 blocks, because he's never had more than 1.1 with us, I think that would just help. Just get like 1 or 2 blocks a game consistently. That would be nice. Anything, just help protect the rim. Like he's got to get better at it.
Yeah. You would think that's kind of partly why we brought him in.
Yeah, I mean, you would think. I mean, it's also because we had to get rid of Yusuf.
It's just, yeah, it's sad. It's just like our best rim protector is Paul Millsap.
It's Paul Millsap, but it shouldn't be Paul Millsap, and he should help fix that out, and just be more aggressive on the defensive end, be more of a rim protector, help out. I mean, because Jamal's gonna get beat sometimes. It's still gonna happen. Gary's gonna hold his own. Will Barton will get beat sometimes if he starts. If he doesn't, Torrey Craig, he will never get beat just by some of the great talent that he's guarding. If it's like Kawhi or LeBron or something like that, depending on night to night who's guarding. Paul's gonna hold his own, but just Mason, you gotta help out a little bit. You just gotta help out whenever people get in lane. I'm not saying he has to block everything, but just be more of a presence in that paint. I think it would help our defense extremely if he was more of a presence down there, and I think he could be. I mean, he's fucking big as shit. He's athletic. He's the athletic center that we have. And if it doesn't work, then I think we should look into options to maybe move on from Mason, just because his contract is expensive. Yeah. But I think those are the two things he needs to focus on: is free throw shooting and defensive. Being a rim protector, helping around the rim, making sure we play better defense and hold guys to certain things. Because he's not going to up his points. He's always, since he's been with us for 3 seasons, he's always around 7 points off the bench, which isn't bad.
No, that's not terrible.
It's pretty good. I mean, it would be higher, like you said, if he made his free throws.
True.
He could be at like 8 consistently if he made his free throws, but he doesn't. But yeah, if he can improve any way possible, I think those are the 2 ways that would help out the most, especially if we're playing teams consistently like we are in the West that have good point guards, good shooting guards, even good small forwards. Every position's basically talented in the West, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, if he can get better there, that'd be great. I think every otherwise he's doing good. Like he shot 59% from the field. He shot 20% from 3, which is funny because he hit that one. Did he only hit 1 3-pointer?
No, he hit 2. I'm pretty sure.
2, yeah. So funny. But yeah, we'll see how Mason can improve on. I think there's not like a huge ceiling of improvement for Mason Plumlee, but if he could, it'd be nice. But yeah, so hopefully Captain America can get a little bit better there. And now we'll go into the more interesting guy. Our boy Paul Millsap going into the last year of his contract. Probably the last year with us for the most part, I think.
Most likely.
Depending on how he plays this year. On his stats, he had 12.6 points. He had 0.8 blocks, 1.2 steals, 2 assists a game, 7 rebounds a game. He shot 72% from free throw, which is higher than what I thought. He shot 48% from the field, and he shot 33 from 3. So what do you think is the main thing that Paul Millsap can improve on from his last year's performance?
I'm not really sure it's something that you see in the stats necessarily, but I just think that Paul can make a bigger impact, and he makes a pretty big impact, but I think he can make a bigger impact on our defense than he did last year. And I also think that he can there are just some moments where Paul throws up these kind of borderline circus shots. You guys know what I'm talking about when he does all these post spin fakes and then he just dribbles the ball away. I think Paul Millsap is super solid, so I don't have anything definite he needs to definitely get better at, but I I think I think just like kind of make a better impact and maybe be a little smarter on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely help. I mean, he needs to upgrade his points a little bit because he went from scoring 18 points a game with Atlanta to going down to 14, which was going to happen because he took a lesser role going from Atlanta to coming with us the first year. And also, that was like a small sample size because there's only 38 games that he played in that 14-point season, but he went from 14 to going down to 12. And I think if he took smarter shots, if he was more efficient, he would. And if his three was better, he would be getting more points, probably more around the 15-point range, maybe 14-point range again.
Yeah.
And I think that helped. Anything really on that offensive side from him can help because we already know, like I said, defensively, Paul Millsap is probably the best, if not the second best defender that we have on the team just for value who brings on that side because he has a very high defensive IQ. He understands plays. He understands where he needs to be at certain points and times to disrupt a play. And he's really good at it. And like I said, he got 1.2 steals a game. That's pretty good for especially his position. But I do think the main things he needs to work on, especially next year, are his free throw shooting and his three-point shooting. I know it says he shot 72% from the line, but like it felt like way worse. It felt like every time he went to the line, he somehow missed it.
Yeah.
Like at least once or twice. I didn't like it. I didn't like his free throw shooting. I feel like he should be better. He's been better in his career before. He was great when he was at Atlanta. He was at 75, 76%. Now he's down to 72. He was at 69 the year before when he was with us the first year. It's gone down. I don't know why. It needs to go back up. And then his three-point shooting has gone up consistently. He had the highest three-point shooting percentage he's ever had last year, but I think if it could get continuously consistent, because he's at 36, which is really good for him and really good for like his position, but if it could get up to like 37, 38, maybe around the 40 range, that'd be fucking amazing.
That'd be really nice.
And it's not as much about like chucking up more shots or anything like that. It's just being more efficient with those shots and those open looks that you get, which would really help. Because, like I said, there was a lot of times where Millsap gets open on either those Jokic, Jamal pick and rolls or just pick and rolls that he's involved in on his own, because they usually leave him open when he fades on those pick and rolls. And sometimes he hits it, sometimes he doesn't. But it would be better if he continues to improve in that area and his shooting just in general. And I think free throw shooting is the most important thing for him to improve on. Rebounding, he was a great rebounder last year. Assisting, he doesn't need to assist. That's not something that he needs to do.
We don't need to worry about that.
We got 2 point guards. We got 3 point guards. Sorry, we also have Monte. We have Monte, Jokic, and Jamal. We got 3 point guards, basically. We don't need him to be one. We don't need him to facilitate, really. And I think also, if there's the one thing else that Millsap can help out with is kind of like grooming Jeremy Grant. If he is going to be the power forward of the future, I still don't think he's the best option for power forward of the future. But if he is, and he does perform really well next year, then let's get Millsap to teach him as much things as he can teach him. And if Millsap is really good this year, we'll extend him. If not, maybe we'll try to find a way to sign him back and have him on the bench. If not, he's just gone.
Yeah.
It just really depends on where it goes from there. But that is it for at least what I have to say for those two guys. What do you think about those two guys?
No,
anything else?
I think that's pretty much it. I think we all kind of know. We all, like, as Nuggets fans, we know kind of what they are good at and what they're not so good at. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go. If Mason can hit more threes, that'd be cool too, because it's always funny when Mason hits threes. But that will never happen.
Mason shows he ever has some kind of jump shot. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's another thing. And just with Mason, it's just like he was pretty good about this last year, but in the years prior, there would be times where he just kind of is like, they pass him the ball and everyone's just like, oh, it's Mason, go away. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to shoot this. And then he just breaks it. I just like, he doesn't usually do that, but I've seen him do it and it makes me want to cry every time. So
hey, but maybe he'll start making those.
Shoot when you have to. Otherwise, pass the ball.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. I mean, if not, we could also get rid of Mason at some point too. But we'll see how it goes. I do think both of those guys had pretty good seasons last year. I think Paul had kind of an underwhelming season if you look at his stats, but if you look at what he does on the defensive side, I think it's still worth it. I know that he's getting paid a lot for what he's giving, but I think it's just worth it for the leadership and defense he brings. Same thing with Plumlee. He's getting paid a lot, but hey, man, he's at least a decent backup center. We could have way worse than backup center.
It's true.
We could have Kufis or Moskov or any of the guys we used to have. We could have Anthony Randolph. We could have... We could have all of the bad things we used to have.
JJ Hickson.
We have JJ Hickson, even worse. But now we don't. We have Mason Plumlee, and he's at least decent. So, yeah, that's everything we think they can improve on. Definitely let us know what you guys think they can improve on and get better at. And we'll come back to you guys next week with 2 more people. But overall, that's the episode for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to tell a friend, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment. If you want to comment, leave a like. We're on SoundCloud and YouTube, like I said. If you guys want to find us or tell a friend to find us. And that's all we got for you guys this week.
Go Nuggets.